and the author of the books, so the student will have the chance to open their books and research for the answer to be able to continue with the game. The proponents also wants to encourage the student to go to the library and search for that particular answer. The game will implement username creation, character selection, pausing and resuming the game, saving the game state, and reloading it once the player chooses to continue the game. It will also display the coins collected, clue collected, and the puzzle collected at the end of each level. Scoring is based on star system, where the player's score is computed as follow: 1 star for completed task, 1 star for 3 clues collected, and 1 star for the puzzle piece, for a total of 3 stars per level. The game also implements the leaderboard system, wherein the player can see who got the most star. The game will be limited to Android users, because Android is cheaper and affordable. The proponents DOESNT have the resources to implement the game on an iOS device. Review of related literature and system. Tiny Travelers: The Amazing Journey to the Philippine Wonders. It will discuss the relevance of the literatures and systems that will serve as one of the foundation of the game. This chapter also includes the conceptual framework that contains the knowledge, system and hardware requirements, and also the software development model and its phases that the proponents will be using in creating the system. And finally, this chapter contains the definition of terms used within the context of the study. A game is a type of play activity conducted in the context of a pretended reality in which the participants try to achieve at least one arbitrary, non-trivial goal by acting in accordance with rules. Game is a natural thing to human beings and is an integral part of man's culture. It is produced because of the human's instinct to play and to socialize. The player gets to participate within the game. They are the ones who makes meaningful choices, and they choose among the set presented to them which affects the event that will happen next. Game design. One of the most crucial part of developing a game is the game design. Game design is about designing the gameplay, creating rules and structures that generate an experience for players. Game design is an art because the designer must imagine creatively to produce an aesthetically driven output. It is an engineering because it should possess functional elements that is mathematically and technology oriented. The roles of a designer starts with an idea, choosing what kind of approach to use, identifying the game's genre, designing the mechanics, communicating with the team who will build the game, and refining and tuning the game during development and testing. Video games. The birth of video games, which levitate the way humans play games. In contrast to the conventional type of game, video games involve human interaction with a user interface that is being displayed in any output hardware that is capable of displaying 2 or even 3-dimensional images and text display. Video games can be played in many different platforms, and the focus of this study is about the mobile game industry, particularly the Android platform. Android. Google released Android 1.0 on 2008, but it was first heard on 2005 when Google acquired Android Inc. Android is an open-source mobile operating system and platform based on Linux kernel versions 2.6. That is why it is now a widely used mobile platforms, because developers can modify and produce their own versions, and it does not only target high-end devices, but also the cheapest devices. But on the other side of the coin, Android has its disadvantage since it is an open source, and anyone can modify it. Fragmentation arises. Create
completed using part2.